asphyxiate stun onto Looney. Are they able to get a man rift? Unfortunately not able to find it. Shrill playing death from the range from above, sorry, to get that extra damage out of the Demon Hunter, but he's going to a lightning lasso. Sea-Doo caught into a full cyclone. Shrill all alone. Wildcard Gaming is going to close out instantaneously. Zach in a lot of trouble. Customs Karma does get Busker protection off, and it looks like Change My Mind just want to close it out early on. Cole gets stabbed. He's trying to trinket. Oh my God. Change My Mind has done it. A beautiful all-in, beautiful crowd control.
AWC anticipated that prediction and locked in the counter for the counter, but we see Asphyx gets swapped to out of nowhere. Cloud9 take game 1 easy.
Some of the moments from the spring finals in that clip, it was an absolutely fantastic tournament, and Cloud9, the victors of it, will be on display now. We're going live with North America. Europe, we have our champions. Method Black won that tournament. Now it's time for the North American top 4. The winner, of course, there's so much on the line. The points in North America, in Europe, Method Black are cruising. In North America, no team is safe currently. All 4 of them very much contesting, all 6 people contesting for the 4 spots. Only 4 left, of course, in this particular tournament, and the first series is potentially one of the most high impact here, Zico. It's going to be Method Orange going up against the Move. Neither of these guys are remotely safe.
Yeah, I mean, Method Orange as well as the Move, very, very far back. The Move right now, they were tied for 4th, but with Resurgent getting knocked out, they have an opportunity here to really start widening that gap and claiming that 4th place. Now, on the flip side, Method Orange are looking to do exactly the same thing here. Whoever wins this series has the potential to actually break into that top 4 limit for the summer qualifications. So it's going to be a very hype game right off the bat. And then, of course, we have Cloud9, the boys. These 2 teams are also tied for 1st place. These guys, they also want to start solidifying their kind of grip here so that they can qualify for the summer finals, regardless of Cloud9 and potentially the boys as well being qualified for BlizzCon. You want to just go for that summer finals as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, first things first, it's really important that Cloud9 brought a spot home for North America, because if not, the boys would also be in this threshold. But Method Orange, at the very end of yesterday with that 3-2 victory against Resurgent, that was probably the most important series they've played since the BlizzCon final. That really mattered so much when it came to this qualification, and all of us on the desk, we made predictions on Twitter just before this tournament started, predicting who would win in Europe, who would win in North America, and what the maximum dampening would be for the day. Just a kind of mini game that we like to play since it is a bit of fun. And as you can see, we were all semi-correct when it came to Europe. All of us saying that Method Black rather would win that one. The victory is kind of in favor of Sid and Zico with regard to that one, so Ven and I need to step it up a little bit. All of us have very slight prediction differences, but overall you can see there's a lot of Cloud9 and a lot of the boys here, so Method Orange have something to prove. So do the Move. I think a lot of people are expecting Method Orange to actually have the edge in this matchup, though. The DK Windwalker, these cleave compositions are very difficult for the Move to handle.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I feel like the one thing for the Move that's kind of a wild card for them is the fact that now Jellybeans can play a Mage. And I'm actually curious to see if he does decide to play Frost Mage in this matchup, because it's going to make it a lot more difficult for Method Orange to just blind lock into cleave.
Whoa!
And it is. It's Jellybeans on the Frost Mage. Unbelievable. They're actually running the Holy Paladin Frost Mage Assassination Rogue.
Wow.
Jellybeans, this is actually insane.
We asked if North America would find the Rogue Mage. It's Jellybeans coming in. Is that hashtag the move for the Move? I mean, quite honestly, this matchup is going to be absolutely incredible. We saw this a little bit during GCD TV in midweek. We have not yet seen Jellybeans play out on the Warcraft main stage, but he's going against Sea-Doo on the Monk. It's Mez on the Death Knight, and it's Trill on that Windwalker. Really high stakes here, guys. Neither of these teams remotely can afford to lose this one.
The Move's first attack is Sea-Doo. They don't even dent him. It's a great start for Method Orange. Ring of Peace preventing some members from connecting. Jellybeans trying to make his way over. Mistweaver certainly a target for Rogue Mage. Abster's pre-sacrificing the paralysis. They're going all out right now. That sacrifice was 100% not necessary. It's just to keep up their momentum so they can stay aggressive. The Move are playing all out in game number 1. Trill now the target, looking to exploit that Blessing and Protection weakness on the Touch of Karma. Gladiator Safeguard has procced. Life Cocoon used as well, but Peekaboo is under fire from Mez's assault. Cloak of Shadows traded on his part as well as his Gladiator Safeguard. The teams begin to even up.
Yeah, and look at this. Absurge moves in. He gets the Hammer of Justice onto Sea-Doo. Can they continue the chain? Jellybeans in a prime position to land the Ring of Frost. Trill tries to portal back. Peekaboo still just getting pulled back by Mez. Mez is just all over him with the Death Grip as well as the Chains of Ice, keeping Peekaboo locked down in place. Finally reconnecting to Trill. Trill with a Fist of Fury does manage to keep Peekaboo at bay. Full blind. Sea-Doo immediately trinketing out to keep Trill alive, but the Smoke Bomb drops down. Trill in a lot of trouble. Peekaboo carrying the game right now with that setup. Groat silence onto Sea-Doo. Is there going to be anything else? Sea-Doo and Trill managed to run and hide. Now Peekaboo taking a little bit of damage. Touch of Death by Trill. He's looking to get really aggressive here onto Peekaboo. Peekaboo easily able to just feint that Touch of Death. Gets topped off really quickly. Jellybeans now looking for an Ebon Bolt. Finds it onto Trill. Do they have crowd control? There's the Hammer of Justice. We need to see Jellybeans get the Polymorph. Can he do it? Unfortunately, they're just going after Sea-Doo. I don't know if I agree with that swap, but maybe they just take Sea-Doo down.
They saw the Life Cocoon preemptive on Trill, so they decided to attack the target with limited defense and force further cooldowns or just net a kill, but they're not finding it. Absurge is now in a Polymorph. Mez stole that from Jellybeans, although not really getting too much off the back of it. Trill in a stun. The Move looking for damage, but not going to find too much. There's no crowd control on Sea-Doo either at this point in time. Finally, the Hammer of Justice goes. Peekaboo still being counter-pressured away. Both Trill and Peekaboo under fire. Trill transcendencing back to Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo looking for a quick pick-me-up. Jellybeans blinks over. Goes for the counterspell. Did Sea-Doo manage to fake it out? It looks like he did. Sea-Doo gets through the counterspell, rolling away from Peekaboo's kick. A little bit wary of the Shadow Step kick still. Trill in a stun, but Sea-Doo stabilizing him effectively. The pre-fortifying brew from Trill more than enough for him to survive. Sea-Doo moves in, going for the leg sweep on Absurge. Jellybeans leg sweep at the same time by Trill. Temporal Shield, they're riding on this Absorb to be enough, but it's a pretty risky gamble. It's not going to be enough. First Ice Block forced from Jellybeans.
Yep, Jellybeans on the Frost Mage, still trying to get something rolling. So far, he's been doing a decent job, but Mez has been able to deny a lot of his incoming polymorphs, just landing kick after kick. Mez just stuns him, interrupts him again, asphyxiates stun. Jellybeans is getting bossed on by Mez. Mez, his main job in this game is just annoy Jellybeans. But Jellybeans sneaks into polymorph. Now Trill could be in some trouble. Preemptive Life Cocoon comes in once again, and Trill should be fine. Trying to make a play. Peekaboo gets the full blind onto Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo trinkets out. And now, without the Life Cocoon, it might be difficult for him to actually keep Trill alive. Keep in mind, there still is a Blessing of Protection for Absurge. He can remove that Touch of Karma very quickly. It's not that big of a safety net for a Windwalker Monk when you're playing against that Holy Paladin.
Yeah, you definitely can't rely on it. Absurge still has one Blessing of Protection as he trades one here for the Assault of Method Orange. Touch of Karma going to be utilized onto a separate target, maybe trying to bait Absurge into using both at the same time. He's not falling for it. Sea-Doo interrupted. They might just crack through the Karma. Big push here by the Move. Jellybeans dealing a lot of damage. That Frozen Orb, Trill Transcendences, but Jelly repositioned preemptively to anticipate this. They do disrupt the Ray of Frost and the Polymorph of Jellybeans. He's been locked down, and now Trill's turn to attack. Touch of Death active. Big push. Crowd control on Absurge. He's going to use Aura Mastery to reduce the impact of the Touch of Death. Not going to be too significant as a result. With Avenging Crusader up, unlikely that we see the Move go down this moment in time. It's Sea-Doo who needs to be careful. He pre-Life Cocoons the Hammer of Justice, absorbing the rest of this attack. Trill can stay aggressive onto Jellybeans as a result. Avenging Crusader going to be fading here shortly. Surprisingly, mana is even as we edge closer to dampening.
Yep, Trill's going to be okay, but they really haven't been able to get too many defensives. One Ice Block out of the way. Maybe Jellybeans forced into a second. If Mez and Trill can stay on target, Peekaboo trying to help him out. A nice double stun. This is certainly going to be the second Ice Block. Method Orange is looking good. The Move have to try to figure something out. The only lead that the Move has right now is the fact that Sea-Doo is getting low on mana. If Jellybeans can hold on, maybe the Move should just play a little bit less aggressive in the matchup. They just sit back, they do damage. Maybe they can win on mana. Maybe they need this type of pressure. Jellybeans going to be moving in once again, but Mez, like I said, he's just been denying him every step of the way. Sea-Doo trying to get out of line of sight of Jellybeans. Jellybeans looking like he wants to prep him up. Sea-Doo could be in a little bit of trouble right now. There's the full kidney shot into a Hammer of Justice. Decent damage coming in from the Move. Peekaboo trying to run and hide. But Peekaboo on a solo mission, unfortunately not able to take him down. Healing Elixir's tops off Sea-Doo. He uses the Transcendence to get away. He's across the map. Jellybeans can't get on top of him. He needs a Blessing of Freedom or something, but Mez and Trill are just laying in.
I feel like this series is just as important as the one yesterday between Resurgent and Method Orange because the move and Method Orange are so close on points. Method Orange need a good performance in this tournament if they even want to keep their hopes alive of qualifying to the summer finals and then that of BlizzCon. Sea-Doo under fire. He's going to use Life Cocoon, pop the way of the crane and go for the kill, but they need to crowd control Absturge. They do. Paralysis. They've got a couple of seconds to kill Jellybeans in this window. Can they kill him in that couple of seconds? They desperately need to. Avenging Crusader is faded for now. They're forced to use Blessing of Protection defensively. Temporal Shield soaks the remainder of this attack. Both healers are almost completely tapped at 8% dampening at this point in time. The move are looking desperate. They go after Sea-Doo again, but he pre-fortifying brews the stun. It needs to be enough, but will it? I'm not sold that it will. Trill is blinded defensively. He uses his trinket to get out to end the game. Jellybean's still in a lot of trouble. Absturge responds with the Blessing of Sacrifice, but it looks like it's not the ultimate sacrifice, so Jellybeans could still die. Huge amounts of damage from Method Orange here in game number 1 as Jellybeans is slow fall jumping away at such low health. Absturge paralysis for a moment, but he's Divine Shields out. He needs to connect the heals, but he's got no heals left, no mana left, and Method Orange take game 1.
Yeah, Method Orange dominating on that DK Windwalker composition. We've talked about it a fair bit, you know. Those have been the two compositions really in this meta, the Rogue Mages and the DK Windwalkers to counter them. Method Orange do bring it out, and it was very well executed from them. It had to be because Jellybeans didn't look too bad on that mage.
Yeah, they had some good pressure, but kind of like Ven mentioned in the game, they were winning pretty nicely on mana. He didn't really need to push in that much. He could have kind of just stayed back, made sure that he gets, you know, a lot of frozen orbs out, a lot of cleave damage out, uses shimmers more to kite Trill, and it requires quite a bit of experience, but if you know how to really bully a Windwalker and Nova those images, then you can really get some work done. And I gotta give it to Sea-Doo as well here. We haven't seen him too much on that Mistweaver, but right there, as he's getting swapped to, activating that Fortifying Brew surely is the only reason why he's able to survive this setup here. And then of course the grappling weapon as well. Trill backing his healer up there, making sure that Peekaboo can't sink his dagger into Sea-Doo and take the W. And Absturge, he's playing with the double blessing of double hand of sacrifice, hand of protection. Sorry, it's been a lot of blessings here. Hand of protection, which essentially is to counter Trill on that touch of karma, which of course means also he's not going to have the ultimate sacrifice, which is the reason why Jellybeans goes down there at the end.
Yeah, Method Orange played that game like a real unit. You know, we had Mez bullying kind of the inexperienced Jellybeans. You called it out quite a few times during the cast, the fact that he was just stopping sheep after sheep after sheep. Obviously, a lot of the focus is on Sea-Doo in this one, since he's the guy getting attacked. He's the guy that has to line of sight these sheeps. And then even Trill, you know, good Transcendence, good Ring of Peace to deny those. So the entire team coming together here. The move, though, this is something that they've struggled with. And we've been critical of them in the past for not kind of deviating from, especially the Shadow Priest and the Restoration Shaman. I feel like this still bodes well in the sense that they are now willing to try something, but the question is it too late? They really, if they lose this one, they will still be ahead of Resurgent based on the fact that they've got this top 4, but they cannot afford to not get top 4 in the next 2 cups, certainly.
I mean, top 4 is just going to be really important for both of these teams, and I think, like Zico kind of mentioned, I feel like for the move, they have the right idea with the composition, but I feel like they're just getting too aggressive. I think it's more of a Fire Mage playstyle where you push in, you get crowd control, you try to take down the Windwalker Monk as fast as you possibly can with Combustion, but with the Frost Mage, it's a lot more difficult to do that. Mez obviously looks like he's bullying Jellybeans quite a bit, and it's because he is. Jellybeans is having a really difficult time actually landing the crowd control that he needs. If he just pulls back, tries to maximize his damage, I'm almost certain that Absturge is going to have a mana advantage over Sea-Doo in the match, and they can just slowly but surely, you know, build up an advantage over time, then take down Mez, maybe if they make it a 20-30% dampening, but Jellybeans just holds on to his shimmers and just plays it a lot more defensive. I feel like that plays into their win condition a lot more instead of going for this all-in, push, aggressive strategy. That's a strat the move likes to pull off, but I feel like Rogue Mage plays a little bit differently now, especially against these cleave setups. You have to play it a lot more conservatively.
Yeah, I mean, that is really the case, right? And I think Jellybeans on the Frost Mage is a good call out as well. I was in a stream yesterday, basically just asking him what he feels about the Fire Mage, and he told me he literally hasn't logged onto his Hunter for 3 weeks. He's really exclusively boot camped on the Mage, which is awesome to see. Love to see them committing. All he wants to do is help his team. He hasn't been able to help his team during this patch because Hunter's been out of the meta somewhat. They don't have a Feral on their team either to make the jungle cleave work. So he's playing this Mage, but he thinks he'll have Fire ready next week. And that could well be a difference maker as well. But I feel like we all agree that the Frost can win this matchup. Maybe it is just a case of sitting back a little bit more, letting Peekaboo be the playmaker. Because as we know on the ladder, Sid, Peekaboo really can make the difference. He can carry people if he needs to. He can do such a good job. It's Jellybeans or Zayu. It doesn't really matter who the Mage is. Peekaboo, we've seen what he can do sometimes in these games.
I mean, Peekaboo XX, fill in the blank, really. I mean, that's going to be a solid team, certainly. He could be the factor here to finding victory against Method Orange. Hopefully Jellybeans boot camp is also going to be enough so he can support the team off of Peekaboo's plays. They're down 1 right now, and I mean, Zeke already gave credit, but Sea-Doo looked solid on the Mistweaver. I feel like we haven't seen him on Mistweaver in a long time, and this is not an easy matchup to deal with against a Rogue Mage, and he did great.
Yeah, I mean, talking about ults, obviously Jellybeans, we were impressed by him, but Sea-Doo on the Mistweaver as well. Definitely want to give him a shout out in that first game. Not an easy task. We were talking about the Restoration Druids getting tunneled by these Rogue Mages yesterday. Not easy. Certainly no easier on the Mistweaver, Ben.
Yeah, definitely not. And I want to see Jellybeans build. I'm trying to take a look at it here shortly. We'll have to see, find out in a second. But Sea-Doo trinkets out of the first blind. Very standard play. Jellybeans can be gripped in. Big pressure coming in from Trill and Mez in the matchup so far. Are they going for the CC strategy? Jellybeans gets leg swept on the Ring of Frost. He's just getting denied over and over. Finally he sneaks into Polymorph, but it's diminishing return. Preemptive Life Cocoon from Sea-Doo onto Trill to keep him alive. Big pressure, though, coming in from the move. Trill forced to run away. Actually hasn't run away just yet. Finally Transcendence, but that's the safeguard that procs. Trill playing a very defensive build right now. Does manage to hold on. Mez on a solo mission onto Jellybeans, trying to deny him, trying to keep the pressure rolling in the game. Upsurge pushing in. Do they have the crowd control? Sea-Doo positioning very far away. Does not want to make it easy for Upsurge to land those Hammer of Justice.
I wonder if there would have been a better map for the move than Tiger's Peak. This is a good map for monks. They can Transcendence from the balcony to the Tiger statue. I mean, this is literally the monks' home base in the game of World of Warcraft. I'm not the biggest fan for this map selection from the move. Sea-Doo getting sapped, perhaps a bit of a mistake there. Nice read by Peekaboo as he's trying to set the team up for victory. If they can remove the Touch of Karma from Trill, they could close it out. Peekaboo Shadow steps in. Trill trinkets out. Touch of Karma. Where's the bop? Are they going to go for the bop? They go for the bop. Trill ports away. Back to Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo needs to connect some heals, but counterspells up. He avoids it for now, but that was a huge hit of damage from Jellybeans. Life Cocoon will be exchanged as well, but Trill stays alive.
Yep, Trill manages to stay alive. Nice heals coming in from Sea-Doo, and that's the strength of the Mistweaver Monk, is you have that Life Cocoon as a safety net, but can get exploited as well. You have to open up your tree a lot, so if Jellybeans can snipe in a counterspell, it's going to be big damage. Jellybeans is running the Crucible of Flame, which is nice. He gets that extra little hit of instant cast damage. A lot of mages not really opting to run that, but I like the fact that they're playing a more aggressive stance, a more aggressive build in this matchup. There's been decent pressure onto Trill. Trill actually using his Touch of Death, looking to get aggressive on Jellybeans. If he can bait out one of the Blessing and Protections, they might be able to take him down. Temporal Shield's rolling, heals him back up after the Touch of Death. Now Trill actually in a little bit of trouble. Fortifying Brew is going to be traded out. Sea-Doo trinkets out of the blind. Massive damage coming in. That's the first Ice Block from Jellybeans. Both teams exchanging blows.
Yep, Ice Block force now. Method Orange staying in it. Mana lead. Sea-Doo going for the way of the crane, but punished on it. Stunned immediately. The move looked to switch targets. Huge stun combo. Mez is there, though, to protect with the anti-magic zone. Sea-Doo's going to be chilling inside of this, waiting for the damage to subside before making his getaway, although it's not really clear if he's going to be able to get away. Peekaboo chasing him down to midfield. He ports back up on the balcony. Peekaboo's still in Hopper suit. Life Cocoon will be forced. Perhaps they can just tunnel Sea-Doo down to the ground, but Jellybeans is certainly feeling the pain for that.
Yeah, I mean, Jellybeans, what he needs to do in this situation is save his damage. He needs to save the Frozen Orb, save the Comet Storm, save the Crucible of Flames for when they get that Kidney Shot, when they get that Hammer of Justice on Sea-Doo. That's when it's going to be really devastating, and there's no anti-magic zone for the next stun. Sea-Doo's in a world of pain, but they go after Trill. Massive damage on Trill. He trades out the Touch of Karma. Gladiator Safeguard procs. Trill running and hiding for his life with a full polymorph on Sea-Doo. Can Trill keep himself alive? Of course, the self-healing of the Windwalker Monk is quite powerful. You can see him just spamming out the Vivifies. He manages to top himself off. Really good kiting from Trill. Did a good job yesterday with that as well. One of the reasons they were able to go toe-to-toe and get that reverse sweep on Resurgence, but Sea-Doo on the back foot. The move, they're just all over the place. This composition seems to be kind of playing into the playstyle that they really like.
The move have good momentum, but they don't have good mana. Sea-Doo with a significant lead there. Crowd control on Absturge secured as they push for the second ice block. I think they're going to get it. Absturge has no cooldowns to increase healing. He's been crowd controlled for some time. Jellybeans fake cast the Mind Freeze, looking for a polymorph, but Mez uses a Magic Shield aggressively. That's going to net them the Gladiator Safeguard of Jellybeans. That shield is going to be fading. Still not much healing throughput for Absturge. They're racing the clock of that Temporal Shield. It's about to go off. Jellybeans blinks away, sets up an Ebon Bolt, and Temp Shield heals him back for quite a lot. Sea-Doo in the sap once again by Peekaboo. Peekaboo switches back to Trill, stun locking him. Sea-Doo's going to trinket, give him a quick pick-me-up, but Poly for a second, interrupting his heals. Touch of Death. Big hit potentially here from Trill. Jellybeans are going to fully respect that cooldown and trade Ice Block just in time for Absturge's cooldowns to rotate and be available. But they are running out of time on mana still.
I really want to see the move go after Sea-Doo. I feel like he's the most vulnerable target in this matchup. He's been doing a really good job defensively. He actually transcendence away, but now he doesn't have that as a safety net. If they can connect a stun on him, Sea-Doo's going to be in a lot of trouble. Let's see if they have the damage available. Hammer of Justice on Sea-Doo. They're going for crowd control. They're trying to take down Trill. Can they do it? He's got the Touch of Karma. He trades out Diffuse and Touch of Karma. Portals away. Peekaboo in hot pursuit. Trill's in a lot of trouble. If he gets caught in a stun, it might just be too much damage. Ice Nova snipes in by Jellybeans. They tie up this series 1-1.
Well, well, well. Jellybeans on the Frost Mage. How many people are excited to see that one? You guys can let us know in the chat. Absolutely incredible. Ults coming in on both sides, but I feel like the reason we give additional hype here to Jellybeans on the Mage is because Mage is one of those classes we just don't see people ulting over to. Normally you either have a main Mage on your team or you have no Mage on your team. The Move have invested in this pick. They needed to. They were struggling against these cleave compositions, and finally it's starting to pay off. The series tied 1-1.
Yeah, they get the polymorph, they get the Hammer of Justice, and I gotta say, Sea-Doo right there when he trinketed, I feel like he really didn't need to. Trill was kind of fine. He trinketed at the very last seconds of a sap, and he got triple DR polyed. I feel like there was not really a big reason for that trinket, and you know, in the immediate punish here, Absturge is playing that double hand of protection, which means that he can remove 2 Touch of Karmas, and I think that's what really caught them off guard here. Trill also had a trinket for this kidney shot here. Sea-Doo playing very far away because he's anticipating himself to be the target, which is fair enough. Trill using his diffuse magic, his Touch of Karma, and of course the anti-magic zone as well, but unfortunately for him, Peekaboo with that sprint Blessing of Freedom is going to be allowed to reconnect, and Jellybeans as well able to finish him off with that Ice Nova after they secured that CC onto Sea-Doo.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes potentially. The overlap of the diffuse with the AMZ, potentially trinket not required from Sea-Doo there. Ultimately, the answer is the move are winning, but the question will be, what will Method Orange lock in? If they blind lock Jelly on the Mage, does Sam I Am come out to play? That's the question. This is a repeat of the BlizzCon final, and it's 1-1. It's been a pretty interesting start to North America here. First, we see Jellybeans on the Mage. We see Sea-Doo on the Monk. That's one thing. Then we see the first game. It just looks so good for Method Orange. Clean gameplay. A couple of mistakes coming in game 2. But now, of course, they do have the swing match advantage. I'm Healingstat and I'm your host. We have Ben, Rookie, Super Tees, and Zico on the desk here for what is one of the most monumentous series we will see throughout the summer season. The 4th Cup, 4th out of 6 right now. Both these teams on the very much the cusp of qualification for the summer finals, which given their overall point standings, both teams do need to qualify through to BlizzCon here. With M2KC dropping down, Jamili's team got knocked out yesterday. It does grant a great opportunity for both of these teams, but they need to make the most of it, and a victory here would absolutely do that.
Well, I feel like for Method Orange, winning game number 1 was just so important because I can pretty confidently say that Sam I Am will be coming in the next game. If we see Jellybeans lock in the Frost Mage and they go with the Frost Mage Assassination Rogue Paladin, I feel like it's not too bad for Method Orange to lock in the Frost Mage Windwalker Monk Restoration Druid, but no, they're actually going to be going Frost DK instead. So Mez locking in the Frost DK. I was wrong. Sam I Am not going to be tagged in.
This is really curious because for me, I would think, Sam I Am would just have so much confidence being the veteran mage. We talked about him being the best mage in North America, certainly one of. Going up against Jellybeans has only been playing it for a couple of weeks in a matchup that maybe it is slightly disadvantaged, but it would be Frost v Frost.
Yeah, but I mean, Method Orange yesterday when they played against Resurgence, this is the composition that they locked in blind. I think they were expecting the Rogue Mage Paladin. They locked in Frost, and obviously they locked it in for a reason. Maybe they feel like this is just really good. Jellybeans, his mobility is going to be limited. The one thing that's good for Jellybeans is he has the Blessing of Freedom from Absterge. So although his Shimmer is going to be a really long cooldown because of Delirium and Heartstop Aura, he still is going to have that additional mobility from Absterge. And I feel like in this particular matchup, what I want to see from the move is just defensive, survive, as long as you can, attack Trill, attack Mez, just basically try to dampen Method Orange. That's their best strategy. If they go for an offensive play, Jellybeans is not going to be able to get crowd control, I can tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be the case. The Frost Mage really being shut down by this Frost Death Knight here, the counter pick from Method Orange. One of the other things we should note, Zico, is that Sea-Doo is swapping over to the Restoration Druid in this game, and we were very impressed with him against Resurgent yesterday on that Druid.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game yesterday, and honestly, Sea-Doo's Druid has been looking good throughout the season. I'm really happy to see that he's been prioritizing his Druid a lot more in this season, and like Vinruki mentioned, I want to see the move. First of all, I want to see Absterge not play double Blessing of Protection. Please swap over to the Ultimate Sacrifice, play for the long game, and just focus Mez a lot. If Trill is out there, go for Trill, but when he ports away, make sure that you have some nice pressure onto Mez. Of course, Absterge is not going to be listening to me, but it might work out for them anyway. Let's see how it goes.
Yep, we will have to see. Of course, I've said this already once, but I do want to say it again. This is a repeat of the BlizzCon final from last year. Both these teams had such a fantastic 2018 and have been struggling, quite frankly, at the start of 2019. You can see both of them have been swapping up their specs, swapping up, bringing in more options, and now they really are trying to come online at the end of the year.
Here we go. Game number 3. This could easily be a grand finale between the move and Method Orange. Jellybeans finally online for the move on that Frost Mage. He could be the factor to their ability to qualify to the summer finals throughout the remaining cups. I am so glad to finally see Jellybeans back in the arena. Would like to see him on a Hunter, but if he can step up into the Mage's shoes, that'll do just fine as well.
Yeah, right now it looks like Trill is going to be that main target. They're going for that strategy of just survive as long as possible. Jellybean's going to be moving forward. Does he land the Ring of Frost? No, he does not. Asphyxiate Stun coming in from Mez off the back of an interrupt. Really nicely done by Mez. He knows what he's doing. It's shutting down mages. There's no question about that. Jellybeans definitely has his work cut out for him here. Touch of Death now rolling for Trill. Do they have the damage? Can they take down Jellybeans? He's just running circles, and this is what we want to see from Jellybeans. Just try to live. Don't use Shimmers too aggressively. You need them to survive. Trill actually in a lot of trouble right now. Cheap Shot comes in onto Sea-Doo. Trill Safeguard does proc. Blessing and Protection trades out for that Touch of Karma. Trill can't rely on that defense, but Sea-Doo in a prime position to just keep Trill alive. Jellybeans just cannot get there. Mez is so disruptive on that Death Knight.
Trill holding on. Ironbark exchange now as well for that assault from the move. I would say the move are looking decent in this position to be able to pull off a victory. This is the map pick. This is the counter pick of Method Orange. That would be devastating for the rest of the series if they are not able to find victory on Ashamane's Fall. Trill dishing out some pain with those Fists of Fury. Mez connecting as well. Both members of Method Orange hammering down on Jellybeans. Peekaboo stunned away as well. Absterge going to respond with the Avenging Crusader. Crowd controlled by Sea-Doo, but not going to be of too much consequence. Now with the Avenging Crusader up, I want to see the move get aggressive. They're not pushing in for the Hammer of Justice, which is a bit surprising on Absterge's part. Still holding out, waiting patiently. Peekaboo actually attacking Sea-Doo, poking the bear a little bit, maybe trying to put him off footing before leading the charge, but Mez is chopping Jellybeans. The longer they wait, the more damage he's going to take.
The longer they wait, the more damage he's going to take. Jellybeans blinks in, looking to get some damage rolling onto Sea-Doo. Anti-Magic Zone drops out. Sea-Doo preemptively Iron Bark the swap as well as traded out the Bark Skin. So he traded out a lot of his defense to not go down in that situation, but perhaps Method Orange overlapped in that situation. I mean, Vendetta's coming up in 25 seconds. Jellybean, if he can reset his Frozen Orb, that's going to be a prime position, but they actually blind Sea-Doo. They're going after Trill. If this is a bait. If Sea-Doo trinkets out of this, he's dead. So he knows that. He plays it patiently, sits the blind, holds on. Trill, the preemptive Fortifying Brew, allows him to do that. Nice plays by Method Orange. The move need to try to find an opening, but Jellybeans is just struggling right now. Mez is still all over him. This could be an ice block. Does trade it out. And this is looking good for Method Orange.
The Frost Death Knight is looking like a good pick into the mages from Mez. This is certainly a unique strategy from Method Orange, the only team to be running that Frost Death Knight, counteracting the mobility of the mage quite effectively, especially when it's kind of a newcomer mage with Jellybeans. He's probably not had to have dealt with this strategy before, and it's really proving to be difficult. We see a leg sweep secured onto 2 members. Touch of Death goes off. Big damage here potentially onto Jellybeans. They crack the ice barrier almost immediately. Blessing of Sacrifice from Absurge, but it's not paired with the Honor Talent Ultimate Sacrifice, so it's not guaranteed survival. Absurge's Avenging Crusader is rolling. He's looking for some counter pressure on Trill, trying to get a stun on Sea-Doo, but Mez is there to back Sea-Doo up, gripping Absurge away and out of range of the hammer. But Jellybeans with a clutch counterspell, although previously Sea-Doo Iron Barks before it, anticipating its effect and denying the kill during that window of time. But now without its defense, he's relying on Trill. What can Trill do to survive? He's going to kite back to Sea-Doo. Trade Touch of Karma. Where's the Blessing of Protection? Absurge this time around, not going to be committing it, not feeling like the kill is there just yet, playing it patiently and holding on to it for a later date. Sea-Doo continues to be crowd controlled. Big damage over onto Trill. His Gladiator Safeguard going to proc once again as he portals back to Sea-Doo. Grapple weapon on Peekaboo, trying to pause the damage long enough for Sea-Doo to recover. Jellybeans is postured up aggressively with the move. They're taking an aggressive stance, but they still have a lot of cooldowns to work through, and I'm not sure that they have the backup to really stand in this position. A close call there. Temporal Shield goes off. Cold Snap, potentially an ice block. Ooh. Is that thanks to the Delirium Heart Stop?
I pointed out to my co-casters, Jellybeans Cold Snap had an 8-minute cooldown because of the Delirium and the Heart Stop aura, and that's what Jellybeans is having to deal with in this matchup. Cold Snap has a long cooldown. Shimmer has a long cooldown. It's just a slow grind. It's so disabling to the class. Trill now in a kidney shot. Is he going to go down? There's a lot of damage, surprisingly, coming in from the move. The pre-fortifying brew keeps him alive. Overlap with the Iron Bark. Good plays here defensively from Method Orange, and they're just looking solid. Honestly, Method Orange yesterday, they looked really sloppy early on, but the last 3 games, when they got that reverse sweep, they looked like they were just coming online as a unit. And in this series so far, it looks to be the same. The move, however, have been doing such a good job bringing in this kind of alternate composition. When would you really expect Absurge on a Paladin and Jellybeans on a Frost Mage? And they're tied up 1-1 right now with Method Orange, and they have a game-winning setup potentially. Full polymorph on Sea-Doo. He manages to get out of it. Big damage going to be landing on Jellybeans quite quickly. Blessing of Protection comes in. Now, that means Trill, he has a safe Touch of Karma. Completely safe Touch of Karma coming up.
Could be ice blocked off if he's not careful. He needs to make sure he uses it on Peekaboo to prevent that out. Obviously, an experienced Windwalker Monk, it's unlikely that we see that mistake, but we've seen, I feel like, bigger mistakes. So let's see if they can keep it together here. Method Orange can't afford to lose a swing match. They got a mana advantage. Cooldowns are about even, slightly in their favor at this moment in time. They go for a swap. Trill is going to save Sea-Doo by grappling Peekaboo's daggers away, denying him from poking him. And now Sea-Doo survives the stun as a result, looking to try and escape to safety, but Jellybeans has him pinned down with the Frozen Orb snaring his escape. Peekaboo continues to train him. Will Sea-Doo crack under the pressure? We saw Sea-Doo trained yesterday by Resurgent and making it out alive. Will he be able to survive the move's assault? Using Iron Bark now as well. Absurge and Peekaboo both cracking at his skull. Jellybeans trying to crowd control the melee and get in line of sight as soon as possible to support. Sea-Doo hovering very low on health and a full stun with no trinket, no anti-magic zone for 5, 4, 3. Do they have enough damage? Trill pauses it with a leg sweep. 1 second anti-magic zone available. Gladiator Safeguard, can they strip it off? They need to spell seal it off as soon as possible. It doesn't look like they have it. Sea-Doo doesn't feel confident with the anti-magic zone. He's going to be abandoning it, but I'm not sure if he's going to survive regardless. The damage in the onslaught continues. 6 seconds away from his bark skin. Sea-Doo barely holding on.
Yeah, barely holding on. He's got the bark skin, he's got the trinket. There's a lot of tools left for Sea-Doo to really work with. I mean, look at the move. Upsurge's mana is not doing great. Sea-Doo could just fall here, pre-bark skins, or he uses the bark skin on this kidney shot. Is he going to be able to stay alive? Jellybean's finally there to try to get some damage rolling. Sea-Doo still just trying to kite. He's trying to get away, but Upsurge and Peekaboo are not making it easy. They are all over him. Jellybeans casts out the Ebon Bolt. There's no way to deny it. Big flurry combo onto Sea-Doo. He's still low. Kidney shot definitely going to be incoming shortly. I feel like Sea-Doo at this point is going to have to trigger out of that kidney shot preemptively. Iron Barks, nicely done there by Sea-Doo in order to stay alive, but they could just push through. It's a kidney shot into a Hammer of Justice. We've seen Druids go down in this situation before. Jellybeans finally getting there for some additional damage. Sea-Doo has to hold on.
Sea-Doo has to hold on. That's basically been the name of every game in this tournament this weekend. Can he hold on a little bit longer? Peekaboo is gunning for it. Renewal available. He needs to make sure he uses it before being stunned. He's going to go for the Swiftman, but gets caught out of form. Even more pressure initiated by Peekaboo and Upsurge. Avenging Crusader going to add a lot of damage to Upsurge's hammer, but Jellybeans can't get there to support. Trill on his back, trying to pressure Peekaboo away as Sea-Doo makes his escape across the map once again.
That's exactly what he needed to do. Jellybeans now looking for an Ebon Bolt, but Mez, just this annoying little mosquito all over Jellybeans. The entire game he's been having to deal with Mez just sitting on him. Mez is just locked on like a Terminator, trying to hunt down Jellybeans and stop him from really having too much fun in this matchup. He's just denying him on his crowd control, denying him on his burst damage. Let's see if it ends up paying off. Trill getting a little bit low right now. He's got a lot of defensive cooldowns. Kidney shot committed over onto Sea-Doo. They're still looking for that offensive push, but a grapple weapon comes in from Trill. Sea-Doo going to be completely fine. Anti-magic zone, bark skin, grapple weapon, tons traded out defensively, and Sea-Doo still going down to 40% health. Can they just take him down? Are they going to kill Sea-Doo through literally everything? He's got the renewal, trades that out also. This is a big push from the move. I feel like Method Orange reacted appropriately in the situation, but Sea-Doo could still just die.
Sea-Doo could easily just die. The move looking to lead here in the series. Where's the damage? They're so close. There's no defense for a couple seconds. Gladiator Safeguard, Ironbark, Sea-Doo on the... Whoa! That was a big hit all of a sudden on Sea-Doo, but he manages to escape. Very close call. 30% dampening. No mana left for Upsurge. One more ice block. Peekaboo doesn't have really much. I mean, this is it. Who do they kill? There's no way they kill Trill at this point. He's got everything. They have to kill Sea-Doo, but...
Upsurge is drinking in plain sight. Look at him. He is.
I mean...
They traded on an ice block, though, and I don't know if it was worth it.
I don't think it's worth it. It's not that much mana, man. Jellybeans comes out of the ice block. They got 10 seconds to get a kill. 8 seconds to get a kill. If they don't get it, I don't think they'll ever will. 5 seconds to get a kill. 3, 2, 1. There's no way the move can... I mean, if they pull it off, they are literally legends. But the Method Orange have everything available to them to survive for the rest of this match. They still have the mana lead. They're trying to pressure Jellybeans down for the kill. He's not going to be seeing an ice block for another 6 minutes, although Cold Snap at least in 16. Trill pre-fortifying Bruise the stun to stay on target and end
10 seconds.
Jellybeans fun. 9,
got 10 seconds.
8, 7. If it wasn't an 8-minute cooldown, he might be able to ice block here. 3, 2,
Beating us a little
1.
bit,
Yeah, there it
Jellybeans is another ice block.
Yeah, another ice block going to be available, but Upsurge has no mana to actually top him off. Look at Cold Snap, still a long way away, but he has the ice block. Trill into a kidney shot. At this point, Method Orange, they just have to hold on. They can continue this pressure. Upsurge has nothing left to work with. There's a bash on Upsurge. Jellybeans trades out the ice block. I don't think he's going to get topped off. Things are looking good. Trill has the touch of death. They have the damage to take down Jellybeans. Can they execute? What is the move going to do? Peekaboo has to make a play. He's got the Vendetta. Trill portals away. He's so far away from Sea-Doo right now. He is vulnerable. Sea-Doo or Peekaboo might be able to take him down. Double leg sweep coming in from Trill. They're looking to close out the game. Massive rising sun kick. Big fists of fury. Whirling dragon punch. Jellybeans holds on with the ice barrier. He's kiting. He's running. Blessing protection comes in on the touch of karma. Can they reverse it on Trill? Trill has to hold on. They got the touch of karma off. Trill could easily just fall. Sea-Doo trinkets out. Trill still not getting topped off. They're continuing the push onto Jellybeans, trying to take him down. Trill just hiding in that anti-magic zone. Fists of Fury to deny Peekaboo any damage. That touch of death might just take him down. A huge hit. Trill, that was exactly what he needed to do in that situation. He might still fall, but I feel like in that situation, it's so easy as the Windwalker Monk to just want to run away. Sometimes you just have to make that final offensive push. It ended up winning them this game. I don't think Sea-Doo was going to recover in that situation. It was do or die for Trill. They did it. They're up 2-1. I mean, maybe. But yeah, I mean, I feel like even if they take down Trill, it's Mez and Sea-Doo, DK, Druid. I don't.
Blind?
Oh, blind. Maybe they can take him.
No.
Really?
Surely not. Peekaboo dies?
Yeah, there's nothing. Method Orange, they played that out very solid. I mean, you have to give credit to the move in that game. That was Method Orange counter pick. And at the end of that game, Trill was 5% health from going down. It was still such a close game.
Yeah, not only that, but it was very minor adjustments on the side of Method Orange. This was a brave blind pick. You know, the Frost Death Knight, so far it's been unproven, although you can see that the theory crafting's there from Mez. Sea-Doo swaps over to the Druid. It was just about enough. Very damp game there. Really could have gone either way, but Method Orange are now one game away from eliminating the move.
So, I like the rest of Druid. I don't like the Frost DK. I don't want to see Frost DK, like, ever. I think Frost DK just... You don't have the same pressure. You don't have Necrotic Strike. Like, you don't have percentage-based damage like an Unholy DK. You have so much more pressure with an Unholy DK, I feel like. And honestly, I think Method Orange was playing this game on hard mode. I think if they just swap over to Unholy DK, keep the rest of Druid, they should have this series in the bag. And to the move's credit, they had a pretty good performance here. This was a nail-biter. Jellybeans sneaking in that polymorph at the end. If Peekaboo would have had a blind there, they could have easily won this. And, you know, Trill and Mez here coordinating that Fist of Fury here to dodge Peekaboo from killing him, staying in the anti-magic zone with that touch of death, and of course a little bit of that Frost DK damage there at the end is enough to take down Jellybeans. But I felt like that game was way harder than it should have been. I don't think they need to live to, what was that, 45% or so?
40.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too, they don't need that much time.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely a tough situation for the move now, though. Jellybeans, I just got to say, he's using one of the new features in patch 8.2. He's got a very nice topless mage there. He's looking absolutely stellar with his transmog. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we love to see Jellybeans on the mage. We do really feel like that is the sort of things that the move need to do to make themselves a top team. Not just qualify to the Summer Finals, but to qualify to BlizzCon. They need to have answers for everything, and they are making those adaptations. But so far, it hasn't quite been enough. It's been so close here, Sid. But, I mean, what do they really need to do? What do they need to change up if they are to win not this next game only, but the next 2 games?
Well, I mean, they should just work on getting Jellybeans. I'm not even thinking about the next 2 games. I'm thinking about the next 2 cups. Get Jellybeans on Fire Mage. I think this comp overall is, I mean, maybe Frost has its place, but Fire is going to be the dominant spec for basically all your matchups. Get Jellybeans on Fire, literally on fire, so that they can win for the next 2 cups. I tried. Okay, I tried.
It made me laugh.
Yes, I tried at least. That should be their plan for the next 2 cups, and it sounds like it already is. For this cup in particular, I don't know, it was so close. I mean, I counted them out at like a solid probably 2 minutes before that game actually ended. I was thinking like there's no way they can win, but it's the move, so
yeah,
if they're in a situation where they can't win, they
something will happen.
Still make it happen, so you can't count them out.
You're still
I'm still cracking up at that joke. Oh man,
it
too
was
much.
Great. No, yeah, it's like the complexity.
Get it together.
That's the thing. Yeah, there we go.
It was the timing of it, I think. That made it
You're
funny.
just so out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was just like
it was like we're
spontaneous.
analyzing. Yeah, no, very good, Sid.
I gotta analyze the jokes too, you know.
At the end of the desk. Well, I'll throw the same question to you then, Zico. What would you like to see from the move? I mean, obviously going forward, I think we are really happy to see Jellybeans on the mage. He's invested hard in it. Fire, obviously, the next step there. But for this cup, what do they need to do? Do you want to see WizKid coming out on the Shadow Priest, or do you think they stick to their guns with this Frost Mage?
I think they stick to the Frost Mage, but to answer Sid's kind of comment about the next 2 cups, I think investing in the Fire Mage for sure is nice to have the Fire Mage Rogue Poly, but also maybe practice a few games of Resto Druid Frost Mage, you know, the comp that has been farming in Europe, frankly, and then you have both. You can go with the Fire Mage if you go into certain comps, and then you can swap over to the Frost Mage Resto Druid as well if you want to be playing that maybe safer version of Rogue Mage. So that way you can really get into it and have a lot of options. Combined with the RPS, you have 3 fantastic comps that you can potentially really push with and get to the Summer Finals with.
Yep, I think that's fair enough analysis. In this meta, it does seem to be about the Rogue Mage Druid, the Rogue Mage Paladin, and then the Windwalker Death Knight. If you have an answer for the Windwalker Death Knight with these Rogue Mage setups, then the move are looking fine. You know, the move, they seem to be able to beat everything else with the Rogue Shadow Priest, so they've just got to have an answer for the cleaves. That's what they've been struggling with all of this time. Absturge, I think he has like a Twitch emote, which is something like no Windwalker DK. It's been his nemesis for about 4 years in the Arena World Championship and beyond.
It's just a Windwalker DK sad face. I remember he made a compilation video back in WoD of him just dying to Windwalker Death Knight. No matter what he did, he'd pre-astral shift.
How many times were you in that video on the other side?
I think a few times.
You're so happy.
I used to play, yeah, Mez and I used to take him down all the time. It was pretty fun, but yeah, the move right now, what are they going to do? Method Orange, they lock in the Mistweaver, and I was talking to Sidu a little bit, and the reason why they're playing Mistweaver blind is because they're horrified of the Shadow Priest as a Resto Druid. He just feels like the offensive dispels WizK has is just way too difficult for him to actually heal through, so that's kind of why they've decided to go with the Mistweaver Monk as a blind pick to sort of not allow the move to pick the Shadow Priest, and they feel like they have a better chance just overall against the Frost Mage, Assassination Rogue, Paladin, which I expect the move to lock in here on Dalaran Sewers.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really good insight into kind of Sidu's thought process here. The Mistweaver comes in. We haven't seen him play it too much, but it does make sense since the Restoration Druid does have that exposed weakness of Shadow Priest just spam purging their heal over time effects, essentially. With the Mistweaver here, once again, the pressure is going to be on Sidu, though. He needs to have a really good game. It's a small map. He'll have to survive a lot of incoming pressure from the move.
Yeah, I mean, the move has a lot of options here. They can go after Sidu, they can go after Trill again, and no matter who they go for, there's going to be a small map where they can essentially catch these slippery monks. So we're going to be having a lot of uptime for Peekaboo, and potentially they can tie up the series doing that. If they can go for Trill and bop off his Blessing of Karma, then or his Touch of Karma, sorry, that's going to be very nice for them. Similarly to what we saw on Tiger's Peak, it should be easier to execute here. And Mez is going to be on Holy DK as well, which is a bit of a relief.
Do you think other teams should be worried about the fact that the move for picking up this Frost Mage Rogue? Well, we're ready to head into the game, so maybe we'll talk about this one after the series, but I'm starting to think that the move, they have the skill, they have the talent, of course, but they haven't had the compositions. If they can perfect both and have both pieces to the puzzle, then that could be a really scary prospect, not only for these kind of medley down low with Resurgent, M2KC, etc. Also, Cloud9 and the boys will have to be watching this team carefully. The move, one down in this one. It's 2-1 in favor of Method Orange. If they lose again, they will be out of Cup 4.
I mean, for the move, it's just about, do they have enough time? Do they have enough time? The main thing they have going for them is Peekaboo. I feel like Peekaboo plays this composition quite a lot on the ladder. I think he plays with Born Good and Zaryu quite often, so it is something he knows. He has a lot of the strategies, and he can really shed that kind of light for Jellybeans and Absturge and kind of tell them what they should be doing in this matchup, you know, what their win conditions are. And I think that in and of itself allows the move to get a lot better at this composition, maybe quicker than other teams really would. We'll have to see what they can get done in this game. It's 1 for the move, 2 for Method Orange. Method Orange just 1 away from sending the move packing. Right now, Sidu in a full blind. Jellybeans on the run. Mez, of course, on the Unholy Death Knight isn't going to be as annoying with the Delirium Heartstop, but still is going to have a lot more pressure, we think, with that Unholy Death Knight. It's going to make it a lot more difficult for Absturge to actually keep him alive.
Jellybeans in trouble here, relying on that Temporal Shield. Is it going to be enough? Gladiator Safeguard procs as well. Looks like he's going to bounce back into the fight in quick fashion. Avenging Crusader rolling for Absturge. He's going to be looking to do a lot of damage to Trill. Where's Trill going to go? He's choosing not to roll away, a bit disrespectful. Tries to, but he gets caught in the stun. Smoke bomb dropped. It's going to be Gladiator's Medallion from Trill as he escapes with Sidu. Peekaboo now disarmed from that grapple weapon. Not going to be able to attack Trill too much, but Hammer of Justice secured. Can Jellybeans get crowd control? He needs the Ring of Frost. They cheap shot, but he can't get it. Mez totally shuts Jellybeans out.
That's been the story of this game, really. Jellybeans just struggling. I mean, Unholy Death Knights have a lot of tools, and Mez uses those tools quite well. Ebon Bolt being cast over onto Trill. Massive damage. Trill forced to portal away. The preemptive Blessing of Protection gets the karma off. Trill just kiting across the map. Really good kiting here by Trill in order to survive. Peekaboo chasing him down. He needs to try to catch him in a Sunlock. But look, Trill, no Trinket, no Touch of Karma, no Fort Brew. Sidu, he's got no Trinket. All they need is one good setup, and they can take Trill down. There's the kidney shot. Jellybeans, where's the damage? Needs to get out the Frozen Orb. Finally drops it. Trill with a double leg sweep, though, shuts down the damage. Massive burst coming in. This could be the first ice block, and it is. Jellybeans going to be forced defensive. Absurge with a massive heal. He has the Divine Favor. He's out of line of sight. Casting a Holy Light. Big heal on Jellybeans. Peekaboo getting a little low also. Things falling apart a little bit here for the move, but there's still a window of opportunity.
Oh, beautiful play by Sea-Doo. Anticipating the stun, getting Life Cocoon on Trill before it landed. That makes Trill take 0 damage from that attack on the move. Now Method Orange, they're going to get aggressive on top of Jellybeans and looking to force a second ice block. Can they do it? Trill is attacking Peekaboo, now rolling over to Jellybeans to connect his 3. Blind on Sea-Doo, 8 seconds away from his Gladiator's Medallion. Trill's going to Transcendence. Peekaboo has to make a decision. Does he sap Sea-Doo or go after Trill? He's going to sap Sea-Doo, then try to reconnect. Trill gets stunned up. Mez there once again with the backup. This has been a solid series from Mez overall. I would say that Method Orange, this is much more of the Method Orange that I expect to see the reigning BlizzCon champions. All 3 members on that Windwalker Death Knight really shining, looking to advance in the lower side of the bracket. Of course, we can't count the move out because they're the moves.
I mean, all right. Sea-Doo now into a Polymorph. Touch of Karma trades out by Trill. I guess he was a little scared in that situation. I'm not exactly sure why. Sea-Doo wasn't in crowd control. He used the Touch of Karma. Vendetta is rolling for Peekaboo, so it's a reasonably fair trade for Trill. Doesn't want to fall behind on health. And ultimately, he will survive. But now, without the safety net of the Touch of Karma, he could be a little bit scared moving forward. He's trying to march into the midfield, try to reconnect Jellybeans. Peekaboo with the freedom, reconnects over onto Trill. Trill trying to deny the kidney shot. And actually, once again, a preemptive Life Cocoon coming in from Sea-Doo. Sea-Doo's on fire. Honestly, Method Orange is playing this matchup really well.
Yeah, certainly are. And if they face Cloud9 later on, maybe this is going to be their answer for the Rogue Mage, although it's a bit different with the Rogue Mage Druid. I'm not sure if it's going to work for them. We see a double leg sweep from Trill. Big push here to get the second ice block. Can they get it? They got Touch of Death rolling. It's going to be a big hit. Jellybeans takes it. They're so close, they can't get it. Gladiator Safeguard gonna proc on Jellybeans, absorbing all the damage, but Mez is hammering through with the Abomination, looking to push forward with even further pressure. Double stun by the move, they're looking to counter-aggress. Trill suddenly doesn't have very much. Where is he gonna go? He's out in midfield, choosing to Transcendence now that the poly is secured, but Peekaboo in hot pursuit with that Blessing of Freedom. Trill doesn't have very far to go. Sea-Doo is still locked in crowd control. They're relying on the Fortifying Brew. It needs to be enough, and it will. Sea-Doo connects Life Cocoon. Now Method Orange look to strike back.
Yep, Sea-Doo now trying to heal up Trill, but Peekaboo buttering Sea-Doo up. Now Sea-Doo's going to be in a little trouble. He's caught into a kidney shot. He's got no trinket. Do they have the damage? He's getting low. Massive damage from the move. Garrote Silence. Anti-Magic Zone trades out by Mez. But Sea-Doo immediately, they didn't get any value from that whatsoever. Sea-Doo portals back into the anti-magic zone. He gets counterspelled. Nicely done by Jellybeans. Sea-Doo could fall, but he uses the mobility of the Mistweaver Monk to cross the map. Should be able to top off. But Peekaboo's there. He lands the sap. He lands the sap, but it broke. I'm not sure what that broke. What broke it, but Sea-Doo's still in so much trouble. He trinkets out of the Hammer of Justice. Peekaboo, if he can land the kidney shot, that Gladiator Safeguard got stripped off. Sea-Doo's still just kiting away, once again showcasing the mobility of the Mistweaver Monk, just crossing the map back and forth, and Mez with that Chains of Ice can provide great backup, snaring up Peekaboo, snaring up Jellybeans, making it really difficult for them to actually stay on target.
Oh, Trill in a stun once again. Touch of Karma available. Going to trade out immediately. They bop it off. Trill could be in trouble. Sea-Doo's still in crowd control. He's trying to crowd control Peekaboo and escape, but where's he going to go? Mez once again with the backup, stunning Peekaboo. Trill escapes to the ramp, but Sea-Doo's still crowd controlled. Trill's out in midfield. Transcendence is away, but he's really far from Sea-Doo. His Gladiator Safeguard going to proc. Flying Serpent Kick back to Sea-Doo, but they spell steal off the Safeguard. There's still a counter spell. If Sea-Doo gets interrupted, it could be game over. Smoke Bomb gets dropped. Sea-Doo is going to immune the interrupts, connect some heals, save Trill, and stay alive in this match. But Vendetta is still rolling for Peekaboo. His damage is amplified. Trill's trying to counter-aggress. Triple leg sweep. Beautiful leg sweep there from Method Orange. And Jellybeans is just going to respect Ice Block. I don't think that was 100% necessary. Now he's not going to have that to rely on. Peekaboo with no evasion. Big opening for Method Orange.
That was a Fortifying Brew, Touch of Death. Maybe he wanted to hold on to his Safeguard, but ultimately, now Jellybeans in a situation where he doesn't have an ice block for another minute and 45 seconds. Absurge mana is not doing great, but keep in mind, Sea-Doo's even behind on that regard. The move, if they can stabilize, if they can just get damage rolling, they might be able to win this on mana, but Jellybeans in a lot of trouble. Avenging Crusader comes in from Absurge. Ultimate sacrifice as well to keep Jellybeans alive. Trill Transcendence is away, trying to keep the damage rolling on Jellybeans. Sea-Doo now into a polymorph. Can they take Jellybeans down? Temporal Shield is rolling. 12% dampening. Trill with a nice diffused magic. He's all over Jellybeans. Mez grips him back. Trill unfortunately rolls to where Jellybeans used to be, but Mez gripped him away. Now Trill on target, finally getting some damage rolling over onto Jellybeans. What can they get done? Jellybeans looking for a full Ring of Frost, manages to find it. Trill in a lot of trouble. Trades up the Touch of Karma, Blessing of Protection instantly. Trill could fall. They have to hold on. Triple DR polymorph onto Sea-Doo. Trill just sitting in that anti-magic zone, trying to survive. Full blind on Sea-Doo. Heat Trinkets out. Trill might have to start running and hiding.
I don't know. He's going for the kill. He rolls on top of Jellybeans. He's trying to push him over. There's no defense really left for either side. Peekaboo could get the game-winning crowd control on Sea-Doo. Kick, kidney, perfect combo. Sea-Doo has no mana. He's trying to heal, but he's got nothing. Trill tries to port away, but he's got nothing. His Battle Master ends. They purge off the Gladiator Safeguard and ultimately take down Trill in game number 4. We're going all the way to number 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, you could not have asked for anything better to start off North America. The Move versus Method Orange will be going to game 5. Such a close back and forth game, but it really does feel like when the Move have this specific matchup, the DK, Windwalker, Mistweaver, especially with that Unholy Death Knight, they do seem to have it down to a T. Even game 3, as we noted, was super close. This series is anyone's match. I mean, it really could go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way, but, you know, in the next game, it's still Method Orange's map pick. It's still Method Orange's comp pick as well, so they still have a lot of options here. They're still going to have the advantage, so to speak, but in this game, you know, Absurge, immediate Blessing of Protection there on the Touch of Karma. Beautiful kidney here, and honestly, Peekaboo sets up for the kill very, very nicely. Blinds up Sea-Doo, gets his trinket out of the way, and then, of course, he lands a kick into kidney shot as well onto Sea-Doo. Jellybeans doing a great job here, applying the pressure, and I think Trill is just being a little bit too aggressive here. Sea-Doo still has some mana to work with. If they top off Trill here, I feel like they're gonna win the game. That kick kidney shot combo comes in. It's too much to handle. Jellybeans with the spell steal as well on that safeguard, and then of course Absurge with the final swing, the final nail on Trill there on that Windwalker.
Yeah, he hammered the final nail in there.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
I know. Just finishing it off, you know.
I appreciate that.
Very interesting stuff coming in. I actually saw Sea-Doo was running the Vitality Conduit as his major essence there as well, which is the kind of spirit link. It redistributes health on use. So that was very interesting stuff coming in from him. Obviously not enough, but nice to see all of these players experimenting in these games. We are going to game 5. You don't want to go anywhere. Method Way or the Move. One of these teams will be advancing to top 3. You are joining us for Game 5 between The Move and Method Orange. I want you to picture a better scenario here in the Arena World Championship because it's going to be quite challenging. Both these teams really fighting it out. We see Jellybeans on the mage. We see Sea-Doo swapping between healers. All of these guys are putting everything on the line because really the Summer Finals and BlizzCon are on the line here for both of them. And for Method Orange especially, they're the defending BlizzCon champions. You can't really imagine a world where the team that wins BlizzCon doesn't even qualify to the next BlizzCon. They have to make something happen here. Yeah,
and they're gonna do it on the Robodrome. Gonna put all their I guess robots in the basket here and see if that's gonna work out for them. I'm excited to see what compositions Method are gonna decide to lock in. I hopefully don't see a Frost DK because it felt like even though they won, I wasn't convinced about it. I think the Move, again, they're going to be locking in Jellybeans on that Frost Mage.
Yeah, and of course, if you guys do want to see Method Orange with the repeat BlizzCon back-to-back, it could well still happen here with your support, and you can support them even further with those toys that we saw at the start. They're still on sale, guys, and a portion of those sales do go directly to the competitors at BlizzCon, so this is a great opportunity for you guys to support them.
Whoa.
We all want to support them here as we do see the composition swap. As you actually shouted out, Zico, this was successful in Europe. What do we think of Abster swapping over to the Restoration Druid?
I think this is fantastic. I mean, this is a great blind pick. You have, you know, a lot of safety essentially when you play the Frost Mage Druid. The problem is, how good is Jellybeans going to be here? Because Druid Mage synergy is a very real thing.
Yep.
You're going to have to be able to coordinate when you go for those bash into polymorphs. You're going to have to coordinate things like hibernate in sheep against other Druids especially, and, you know, when to use the Kleptomania. There's a lot of small decisions like that that really end up mattering a lot for the outcome of the game. And likewise, I like to see Sea-Doo on the Resto Druid and Mez on the Unholy DK. Both teams really putting everything into this final game here.
Yeah, I mean, these are two teams that have been struggling, but they've responded positively to that struggle. Both of them bringing new stuff out. You can see Absurge on the Druid. That's something that he only showed us a few weeks ago, and he's been putting time and time into that. Equally, Method Orange, you know, Sea-Doo on the Druid. We've been super happy with his performance throughout this season. It really does come down to who is the better team. This matchup we've seen go either way throughout several different teams playing out either side, and the better team will win this one. The move, you got to feel like they're the slight underdog here, though, because that Mage Druid synergy is going to be so important. And quite frankly, Jellybeans hasn't been playing Mage for much longer than a couple of weeks, so that synergy can't quite be there yet.
Yeah, it's very rare we see a team pick up Rogue, Mage, Druid as sort of an alt composition, especially the Druid and the Mage going together. I mean, Peekaboo on the Rogue should be able to help them out, like I was kind of talking about in the last game. The fact that he plays Rogue Mage quite a bit, he knows a lot of the different strategies. Of course, the move, I'm sure they've been practicing this composition quite a bit, and overall it's just really solid. I mean, the Frost Mage Restoration Druid right now, you have a ton of control, you have a lot of defense, but there is some nuance to it, and if they can't execute on that nuance, then it's going to be really difficult for them to actually execute and get a kill in this matchup, because the way we've seen this matchup play out in the past is Peekaboo is going to be probably trying to pressure down Sea-Doo as much as possible, and it's going to be up to Jellybeans and Absurge to control Mez, control Trill, try to survive, and also help Peekaboo on that, you know, pressuring down Sea-Doo throughout the match. If they can't do that, they'll end up losing. And we'll have to see if they can get it done. I mean, Method Orange has a lot of practice into Rogue Mage, I assume. And the move, I'm not sure how much practice they have into a Windwalker Death Knight setup as good as Method Orange. Yeah,
I mean, that really is the thing. It's the practice. Method Orange, this is a composition that they have tried and tested, it's very much fair to say. So these guys have seen so much success running the DK Windwalker.
I'm wondering, though, if Method Orange lose, does that mean Method Orange also pick up Rogue Mage? Because they play Windwalker Mage at a pretty solid level. I mean,
Trill's raiding on a Rogue right now.
Exactly. Sam-I-Am and Sea-Doo have put in time with that Druid Mage. It's almost kind of surprising that they haven't tried to get Rogue Mage Druid under their belt, I mean, having the other 2 of 3 of the formula.
No, go. I was just going to say, like, we have met them playing with Mez on the Rogue, and now they've been spam playing ladder with Trill, so I'm curious. Like, that has to, it's like you said, you know, these guys, they are putting the effort in, but it's a matter of time. We only have 2 weeks left on this season.
That's the thing. It's a matter of time. I mean, maybe after the spring season, or maybe after the summer season, they can move forward and try to practice it more. But like, I just don't imagine a world where we see the move playing Rogue Mage Druid, or, you know, Method Orange playing Rogue Mage Druid, and mirroring Method Black. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Do they have enough time to get that good? I'm not sure. Maybe they do. I really don't know. But it's, you know, when you're playing against these teams that have, you know, years and years of Rogue Mage under their belts, it's definitely a tall order for these teams to try to compete. But maybe they can. Maybe they'll be able to prove us wrong. The move right now, they're going to be locking in Rogue Mage Druid, a little bit unexpected. If you had told me that the move was going to be playing Rogue Mage Druid a few weeks ago,
probably would have laughed.
I would have been like, yeah, right. Good joke.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see it, guys. These are two teams with massive fan bases. That's why it's such a joy for us to watch them battling it out. If you're a fan of Method Orange, give them your energy. If you're a fan of the move, give them your energy. It's going to be Absurge, Jellybeans, and Peekaboo running Rogue Mage Druid into Method Orange with that DK Windwalker composition. Game 5, one of these teams goes home, one of them makes it through the top 3.
Can Method Orange rise up? Game number 5. Playing their bread and butter, their Windwalker Death Knight, their comfort food. The move, they are certainly not going to be comfortable. Jellybeans Maids, Absurge Druid. Peekaboo is going to have to be the glue that sticks this team together. Can Peekaboo coordinate the team well enough to take down a Windwalker Death Knight of this caliber?
I know. We'll have to see. Right now, Mez is into a cycle, and we have to see the control coming in from Absurge and Jellybeans. That's really going to be the name of the game. How much damage can he get out? Jellybeans, of course, is no longer going to have the safety net of the Blessing of Freedom from the Paladin, so he's going to have to do a lot of the kiting in this matchup on his own, but it's something he's used to playing a Hunter. There's been good damage on Trill. He's forced to pull it away. Of course, the Robodrome normally is a map that favors the cleaves. There's these large pillars that they can kind of kite around, and when they want to push aggressive, there's really not too much room for the Mage Druid to kite around and get distance on the map, and I feel like that's going to play into the favor of Method Orange.
All right, let's see if they can. They've got the map advantage, arguably the comp advantage as well, at least based on their selection. Peekaboo gets a re-stealth. That's going to give him a lot of extra damage on Trill, potentially enough to force major cooldowns. They drop Smoke Bomb. Trill going to escape that as soon as possible. Sea to Tranquility, but gets kicked by Peekaboo. Peekaboo taking this game completely into his own hands. Jellybeans backing him up with some decent damage. Trill down to half, but not enough to get the touch of karma, unfortunately. Mez and a Polymorph. Sea trying to wrap around to dispel that, but that pillar is quite wide. He's not able to actually get there to dispel. Mez sits through a full Polymorph. Trill falls behind. He pre-fortify and brews the stun, at least stalling the damage for now. Jellybeans in a position where Sea needs to shapeshift in line of sight to avoid Polymorph. They're trying to force Jellybeans back, but Absurge activates Iron Bark. Absurge fake casts the Mind Freeze of Mez. That should open the move up to secure crowd control moving forward.
Yeah, good damage on Jellybeans. He's getting a little bit low, but there's still a Temporal Shield they have to work through. Peekaboo backing him up. Kidney Shot on Trill. And a nice Cyclone onto Mez a little bit earlier on. Jellybean's been doing a good job kiting around so far. Things aren't looking bad for the move. Peekaboo getting targeted down by Trill. Trill sort of defending himself in that situation with the Turbo Fists, Fists of Fury parry, as well as a grapple weapon over onto Peekaboo. Now, that's not going to be available for the next attempt. Peekaboo tries to throw out. Jellybeans and Absurge, they've just been kiting around the map. They're playing the stall-based Rogue Mage Druid, not necessarily going for crowd control on Sea-Doo. And if they can hold on, if they can just kite and run away, I mean, I feel like this is a strategy that isn't that hard to execute. I think the move know what they need to do to win this matchup, and they might be able to do it.
If they can play the stall tactic, they need to make sure that Absturge is able to drink. If he's not able to drink, then I don't think the stall tactic is going to work for them. But if they can drink and drag the fight on to the 20 to 40% mark, then certainly Mez is going to become a liability for Method Orange. Sea-Doo trinketing blind. This then allows Peekaboo an option to go after him in the future. Vendetta available in 13, but Trill knows that, so he's pressuring Peekaboo, forcing him hopefully away from Sea-Doo, but if he can't, Vendetta's up in 5. Jellybeans positioned far back, polymorphing the Death Knight, making Sea-Doo push forward to dispel. And waiting to see when Peekaboo makes the swap. He's not going to. Going after Trill with the Vendetta. Big push. Iron Bark needs to be enough. Will it? This is an insane amount of damage from the move. They get the Gladiator Safeguard as well as the Iron Bark. 2 cooldowns for 1 in that exchange. Definitely a good deal for them. It's game 5. Elimination round between the Move and Method Orange. So close to each other on the point standings. Both out of the bubble, I believe, in terms of qualifications. Potentially, no. The Move in the top 4 at the moment with Resurgence's performance this week. Method Orange look to try and pass the Move and get into the top 4. Potentially even past the Mew Mew Kitty Cats in the near future if they can find victory in this game.
It's just so important for both of these teams. They need to show up in these cups. And, I mean, right now, one of these teams is on the edge of being eliminated. Jellybeans getting low. Iron Bark Safeguard proc. And now Jellybeans going to be able to recover in the situation. Peekaboo looking to reverse the pressure onto Trill, but it cannot be overstated at this point. I mean, Method Orange, they need to start, making into the top 3 of every single one of these cups. The Move stand in their way, and equally, I mean, the Move right now, they're tied in that sort of top 4 position with Resurgent. Of course, Resurgent didn't earn as many points as them, so they are going to be moving ahead, move in a prime position, but they need to develop their lead. They need to get ahead. That's not a safe situation. Be on right and 4th place during this cup and during the next couple of cups. So the Move, they need to have a good performance. Can they take down Method Orange with the Rogue Mage Druid, Jellybean Mage, forcing Trill to run away and hide? Full Polymorph now secured onto Sea-Doo. Still has no trinket for another 5 seconds. A full Cyclone coming in from Absurge. Good control coming in, but Trill's been able to run. He's been able to hide. He's been able to kite. The Robodrome, a really great pick for Method Orange.
Yeah, it's definitely paying off for them here. Sea-Doo not moving his character. I'm wondering if there might be a problem for him. He's stun locked right now on his Gladiator's Medallion. I think there is a problem. That's devastating for Method Orange. He's back.
Oh, he's back.
He's moving, but it cost him a lot of cooldowns.
He did disconnect. He auto-trinketed there when you reconnected the game. It uses your trinket. Mez had to use the anti-magic zone as well, so that's going to put them way behind. The Move, they were gunning for blood. Sea-Doo managed to hold on, reconnecting to the game. Jellybeans now taking quite a bit of damage. Again, they take him down. Mez and Trill, they're all over him. Touch of Death is rolling, and he almost gets one shot. Jellybeans completely disrespecting the Fortifying Brew Touch of Death. Almost gets deleted. What a close call. The move have to be careful.
Yeah, the moves certainly do. It's still match point, 5% dampening. What's the mana situation? I would say it's better for the move. If they can remain even on mana with Sea-Doo, then they can get a kill on Mez later in the game. Counterspell sniped by Jellybeans, cross the midfield. Trill in trouble. That Gladiator safeguard absorbing, but they spell steal it off. He ports on very low health. Sea-Doo's in a blind with no trinket. Mez grips Jellybeans away. Trill's trying to self-sustain, but Sea-Doo is still extended in the crowd control. Peekaboo Shadow steps over to Absturge to reconnect to Trill. He pre-touch of Karma's the kidney shot, but they're breaking through it. Can they crack it? Iron Bark used as well. Now cycloned by Absturge, denying all of the defense. If they can switch crowd control over, they could close it, but they can't. Mez with perfect timing on that asphyxiate, along with Trill's Ring of Peace, denying the chain and keeping Method Orange in the tournament.
Yep, 10% dampening at this point, and I feel like dampening is going to eventually favor the move. Jellybean still has one ice block left. Absturge is doing great on mana. I'm not sure, Sid. Do you think that Method Orange is going to be able to take down Jellybeans in time? I mean, at what point of the game is Mez become an exposed target? I think it's going to be around 30-40% dampening. We'll have to see. Shrill right now, once again, running and hiding. Peekaboo doesn't want to overextend in this situation, but Method Orange is forced to play very defensively right now.
All right, how long can they keep this up? Trill is exposed in terms of defense. He gets stunned by Peekaboo. Sea-Doo has the efflorescence down and max healing, so Trill is going to be able to make it through that alive. Mez getting cycloned up for a moment. Jellybean still the target. I think that was a stolen cyclone, potentially. Now on to Absturge, but he pre-Iron Barks it. The defense appears to be enough. They're not even denting Jellybeans. Trill is still the one lower on health. Still no Karma for 15. Cycloned at low health. This sets up the move to make a play, but Jellybeans is too far away. Transcendence from Trill. He's going to escape to Sea-Doo's side. Peekaboo pushing in on a solo mission around the corner. Mez sitting an extended amount of crowd control from Jellybeans. Absturge jumping in to bash Sea-Doo. Looking for Hibernate. Doesn't get it, but a stolen polymorph sneaks in from Mez. MVP Mez. Double leg sweep from Trill. Opportunity knocks. A race against the clock to get the second block. What? That was an insane touch of death from Trill. Is going to take game 5 and Method Orange advance.
I told you to be careful.
Yeah, the disrespect coming in from Jellybeans on that Frost Mage, and it will be Method Orange that advance 3-2. Such a good series for both sides, but Method Orange, they needed it the most. They're currently outside of the top 4, and now they tie the move with that victory.
Yeah, and you know, disrespect the touch of death once, that's fine, but the second one, it's
sometimes
it's gonna explode, and eventually you're just gonna go down without using your ice block. You know, these things definitely happen, and you gotta give it up to Mez, man. Mez and Trill as well. They really held it down in this game. Sea-Doo DC'd, had to trinket air essentially, got caught up in a long CC chain there, and Trill had to really pre-touch of Karma, survive. Mez shut down every, re-crowd control attempt with Trill as well, and stole a polymorph at the end there, and then of course used it to secure the victory. So honestly, Mez and Trill really played this game phenomenally. And, Sea-Doo, he played well as well, but he was a little bit unlucky there with that disconnect. However, it didn't end up mattering too much. Jellybeans caught up in that touch of death with that polymorph and that leg sweep combo right there, and boom goes the touch of death there with that fortifying brew offensively, as Trill has been the target pretty much the entire game as well. So nicely done, but honestly a big blunder from Jellybeans as well.
I tried to warn him.
Yeah, if he was listening, if K was just poking, it was like, the next touch of death's going to hurt probably, mate. It would have been a situation, but ultimately we really built up Sea-Doo yesterday on the Druid. He had a fantastic showing, especially in game 5. Today, that series especially was all about Trill and Mez. I think it's fair to say Mez, so disruptive for Jellybeans, such a good series from him. Trill, the legendary cannot die monk, pulling through in game 5 there. And Method Orange will advance. We can see that on the bracket. They have eliminated the move. The move, by all means, are not out of Summer Finals qualification, but this is a major blow, as Method Orange will now 100% catch them on points and have the opportunity to overtake against the loser of Cloud9 versus the Boys, which is our next series. And we said this a little bit yesterday. It still holds true. Whilst all of these close series have been playing out in the lower bracket, the Boys and Cloud9, they've just been kind of chilling in upper. They're like, okay, not quite sure what's going on down there.